Hey friends, what's going on? Sunday, July 9 here in New York City. Like 10:45 in the morning, 82 degrees Fahrenheit, and a pretty nasty sky. So we'll see just how long we can be out today. Starting here on the Upper East Side, 85th Street, Madison Avenue. Making our way south right now. Diana Lee, good to see you. Happy Sunday. Oh, big bus, tour bus going by. Kind of gray clouds above us. Supposed to be thunderstorms at some point today. Hey, Donna Stedham, good to see you. Good morning, good morning. Hope you're doing great. Here in the Upper East Side Historic District, just an avenue over from Museum Mile. Met right down there. Do me a favor, let me know how our audio is coming in today. Hey, Simon Davies here. Good to see you. Heading to New York in around 8 weeks. Hey, awesome. Marv is here as well. All of our friends checking in. Good to see everybody. Hey, Colleen, welcome. Happy Sunday, my friends. Very humid today. Hey, Gigi NYC, Dave, Ollie. Good to see everybody. Let's pop across the street. No cars coming. So I might start to, I don't know how long we're going to have today with the storms. So I might start to pick up my pace a little bit because there's a lot I would like to do. Hey, Nabul, welcome. Good to see everybody. If you haven't yet, say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. Just passing by William Greenberg Desserts, famous desserts on the Upper East Side. Madison Avenue, 82nd Street. There's public school to my left, public school 6. And I always love the green shrubbery all over it. And there's the steps to the Metropolitan Museum, right down there. And Simon Davey with the incredibly generous 20-pound super chat, a little something for the Sunday afternoon wine fund. Hey, you're speaking my language. Yeah, I got to go pick up something for the missus in a little bit. Since there's going to be some crazy storms, definitely going to cook tonight. That will come in handy. Thank you, Simon Davey. So the reason I wanted to start on Madison, aside from just doing a little variety, and it's been a minute since we've done Madison Avenue. I did a little bit, if you saw my Upper East Side stroller cam, trying to take kiddo on walks and film some of them for you guys. We did a little bit of Madison Avenue. And if you guys recall, some months ago, there was an art project where they did all these creative dog houses. And there's a new art project that's back on Madison Avenue. Different, not dog houses this time, but dresses. I was just kind of moving along, so I didn't get a good look at it. But today we'll try to get a good look at it and see what the story is. And of course, we will also pop by the Rhinelander Mansion. Saw they were doing some construction there, but we'll try to check out what's going on at Ralph Lauren. And then I think from there, we'll head over to Fifth Avenue. So a little bit of Madison, then a little bit of Fifth, and then depending on time, we'll see how we're doing. If the storms hold off long enough, I would love to get us to the High Line, but that may be optimistic. So we'll just have to see how the weather's looking. Hey Prince Ice, good to see you. Yeah, it is horribly humid here today. I'm already sweating. This is a great restaurant up here, Serafina. There's a bunch of them around the city. Really good Italian food. So I'm just trying to pay attention and see. I think the art stuff usually starts closer to 72nd Street, so we probably still have a few blocks, but just trying to pay attention so I don't miss any of them. I'm also hopeful between the early hour and the weather that we're not going to have too many network problems. I don't know if you guys have noticed. Most of the streamers in New York City use Verizon, and I think Verizon is like overloaded. Buffer city these days, so fingers crossed.
I know they are so far.
She's okay.
Ollie said, does anyone else miss getting carried? I told you guys before, my wife had a running injury once, and so she had to be in a wheelchair for a little bit with me pushing her around. Just passing by the Mark Hotel, very fancy. They always do great decorations during Christmas. Not much there right now, but look forward to that post-summer, which of course means also on our left will be the famous Carlisle Hotel. And even if you're never going to go to the Carlisle Hotel, you might want to go to Beemelman's Bar right there. They do great music, but if you've never seen the inside of Beemelman's Bar, just Google it and check out the murals. Absolutely stunning space. So maybe add that to your bucket list and save lots of pennies. It is not cheap. Up ahead on our left, Frick Madison, which the space recently got bought by Sotheby's. So Sotheby's currently, I think, on York Avenue. their competitor Christie's right near Rockefeller Center. And I find it very interesting that they bought a museum space. So I'm hopeful that it will remain sort of open to the public and that there will be lots of public gallery space. But I haven't read much yet. Hey, Osfly Girl. Good to see you. Prince Ice asking, is today a long stream day? So most likely not super long. In an hour and actually if anybody wants to be responsible for kind of watching the weather radar, there's thunderstorms coming in. So I brought an umbrella, but if it gets nasty, that'll definitely slow us down. So I just need to keep an eye on that. But since we haven't done a stream in a while, there's certainly a lot I'd like to do and see. Just walking by the Upper East Side Apple Store, super fancy building. Fun space to shop inside though. But right now we're on the hunt for two things. We're gonna go check out Ralph Lauren, and as I was saying before, there's another little art project here along Madison Avenue that I want to check out. Love public art, love outdoor art. Yeah, good to see everybody. I'm sorry it's been a while. The sleep saga has continued, but we have a major update. So the kiddo will be turning 9 months old pretty soon. And a few days ago, for the first time, so in 8+ months, this has never happened, he had his first full night of sleep. In 8 months of life on this here earth, our kiddo had his first full night of sleep. So as you guys know, that has been a long, arduous saga for Mom and myself, and pretty much the reason why I haven't been out too much. It's just been, he's a full-time job, but added to that, he was waking up all the time, and not just like waking up and we'd have to go like say shush shush, go to sleep, but like it would take a couple hours to get him to go back to sleep. So the first time in 8 months he had his full night of sleep, and then last night he repeated it. So we've had two, not consecutive. It remains a little bit of a work in progress, but he's had 2 nights of sleep. So this is the Rhinelander mansion. We're checking out the windows here at Ralph Lauren. So the ones over here, they're doing some work. Let's see what we got. Hey Ron TV, good to see you. Simon says, well done, Mini Bagel. Hopefully a peaceful night for all going forward. Yeah, I mean, your lips to God's ears, as they say. What turned out to have happened, so we've been doing sleep training. Not everybody's into that. But we had to find a version that Lisa, in particular, my wife, was comfortable with. So something very gentle, very, very much not leaving him alone, but, just kind of a slower but more gentle process where he sort of begins to learn to fall back asleep on his own without so much intervention from us. That helped a lot, especially with falling to sleep. But it turns out that he had what's called split nights. And that was the explanation for the big 2-hour wake-ups. And so basically what that means is we were asking him to sleep longer than he's capable of. And so to fill the time in bed, he just would get up for a while. So we had to figure that out. We had to play with his schedule a bunch. When to nap, when to fall asleep, etc. And we seem to have landed on something that's working, so fingers crossed. Lex says, is it pronounced Ralph Lauren or Ralph Lauren? I always say Ralph Lauren. These always crack me up. Single outfits probably cost more than my kiddo's entire wardrobe, but they sure are fashionable. Guys, I cannot tell you how hot it feels right now. It's like 82 or 83 degrees, which isn't on its own all that terrible. It is just so humid. It is so humid right now. I'm just, it feels like Jell-O. Prince Ice says, kind of old news, but I heard Tiffany had a fire in the basement. Oh yeah, no, that's a good, if we get to 5th Avenue next, maybe we'll check that out. That was really bad luck on their part because they obviously did that huge renovation, had been closed for a while, and then reopened. And then immediately to have that happen, basically. What a mess. What a mess. But so there was a fire in the basement, and it was just pouring out of the building from the first floor, or from for our European friends, the ground floor. And like pouring out. I mean, it looked really bad. So I don't personally have any updates, but if we walk by, we'll find out what's going on. I'm guessing they had to close again. And then Lex asking about the e-bike repair shop. Yeah, no, that's a really terrible story. So basically, you know, e-bikes have become one of the lifebloods of New York City. It's how all of our deliveries happen. And for those of you who don't know, by the way, this is Ralph's Coffee Shop. There's the best smelling coffee shop imaginable. So if you're ever here on the Upper East Side, here, let's go over to 5th Avenue. Oh no, we forgot the art. What am I doing? Let's go find the art. If you're ever on the Upper East Side, go to Ralph's Coffee, best smelling coffee shop in New York City. There's a few around the city, actually. There's one at Rockefeller Center. And then there's one on 5th Avenue, and let's say like 20th Street, something like that, thereabouts. I might be off a little bit on that street, but south of 23rd Street. So e-bikes, yeah. So there's a massive amount of delivery people in New York City. Massive, massive, massive. I mean, literally thousands. And for the most part, they use e-bikes to get around. It's the most efficient way. But because wages for delivery work are pretty low, there's a whole fight because the city wants to mandate a minimum wage. All the delivery companies are fighting it. Of course, I'm in favor of people being paid a fair wage. But because today the wages aren't that great, people buy cheap, knockoff, bikes, not from name brands that probably didn't go through all the certifications, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They're using them like mad. They're using them for hours and hours and hours on end, regardless of how hot it is, if it's raining, et cetera, et cetera. So really brutal conditions. And these cheap knockoff batteries can catch fire. And there was a really bad fire at a repair shop in Chinatown, and several people died. It was really tragic. So you know, there's a lot of conversation about what they want to do about it. There's some conversation about the city helping people to replace, you know, the cheap knockoffs with legit bikes, which is something I think they should do. I mean, it's become part of the infrastructure of New York City is these deliveries. Rolls Royce. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but something's going to have to. You can't just tell people, you know, not to use a thing if they can't afford any alternative. So they're going to have to figure that out. You know, we demand, I don't want to get on my soapbox too much this early, but there was a big thing about getting these delivery people access to bathrooms at restaurants. And the restaurants, of course, fought this. They don't want, you know, delivery people walking through the restaurant using their beautiful, I mean, I think you guys know from our many conversations that bathroom access in New York City is terrible. You know, and any effort at improving that gets blocked. So suffice to say, I'm on the side of delivery people getting a fair wage, getting access to better bikes, getting access to bathrooms. Hopefully this is a problem we can solve. Ambrose is in the house, getting, no doubt, the most accurate information from ChatGPT. Good to see you, pal. If you guys haven't seen Ambrose's YouTube channel, Ambrose had quite a video the other day. I don't want to give too much away, but quite a video, Ambrose. Lex says, not that many people out. Is everyone in the Hamptons? Yeah, I mean, it's summer, so, you know, certainly a lot of and we're in Madison Avenue, so kind of a wealthy area. So indeed, many of these people may be in the Hamptons, but between some folks being out of town for travel, and then it's just brutally hot and humid, and it's early on Sunday, so everybody who was out late last night is blissfully in bed with the air conditioning. For the most part, yeah, it's going to be pretty quiet out right now until a little while later. I don't think I saw any of the, where did the art go? I could have sworn, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention. I can't believe they're gone already. I guess I missed it. Well, check out Stroller Cam Upper East Side video from a couple days ago. I saw a couple of them. All right, let's head over to Fifth Avenue, see what's going on over there. As Prince Ice said, big fire at Tiffany's, so let's go check out Tiffany. And then pending the really bad weather, if I would love to get to the High Line. That's my, like, if everything works out, we'll try to get to the High Line, but no promises if it gets really nasty. Hey, taxi cab, good to see you. It's good to see everybody. I know it's been a while. Ron TV says it's about time I released that AAA powered e-bike. I've ridden a bike like 2 times in New York City, and let's just say until there's more protected bike lanes, it's really not my thing. But I will tell you, those e-bikes, when they work, it really is amazing how much easier they make biking. So I get the appeal of it, but you just want it to be done safely. CMV, good to see you. Oh, it is so disgustingly hot. Ambrose says, rode a rental bike last week around Governor's Island. Ooh, I love Governor's Island. If you've never been, you can take, there's Governor's Island ferry that you can take from the Cipriani building down there. Beautiful little ferry building, ferry terminal. Let's hop across so I can show you guys Temple Emmanuel. Nobody coming, plus the light's about to change. But yeah, Governor's Island is a beautiful little space to walk around. Temple Emmanuel, beautiful synagogue here on the Upper East Side. Across the street, one of our all-time favorite buildings, the Arsenal. One of two buildings within the grounds of Central Park to predate Central Park, home to New York City Parks Department. I forget if I told you guys, the Parks Department started a podcast recently, which is like an oral history of the pandemic. And it's interesting because obviously the parks, all outdoors, was one of the big ways that New Yorkers kind of got through the last few years. So it's a super interesting podcast, and I think they I think they recorded in there. I forget. But they've had some episodes of park administrators who work in there. It's been super interesting. Also, the Central Park Zoo is behind there. We unfortunately just missed the clock by 5 minutes. But big news, we took the kiddo there. That was one of our biggest outings, and he did so well. We had a great time. I'm sure we will be back many, many, many times. Ron TV says, to the podcast, help the kiddo sleep. These are the sorts of things I listen to while I'm shushing him for 30 minutes until he falls asleep. There are the towers of Billionaires Row over between 57th and 58th Street. Lex says, wonder if the smog from Canada will return anytime soon. I sure hope not. Oh, that was so terrible. I think we did a stream after it. I talked a little bit about our experience with that. But suffice to say, it was terrible.
It's like
I really, really, really hope that doesn't happen again anytime soon. So as we get to Midtown, starting to see a few more people. Obviously not super busy, but we are starting to see people. On my left, Knickerbocker Club, that I will always remember. We did one of the St. Patrick's Day parades, standing right in front of it. Beautiful little space. I hear saxophone coming from inside Central Park. So we're gonna, just a few minutes, we'll be at Grand Army Plaza, southeast corner of Central Park and 5th Avenue. Get to see the Plaza Hotel, Apple 5th Avenue, all sorts of stuff. Beautiful morning here in New York City. Just wish it wasn't so humid. Oof. Woof. Hey Leela, good to see you. Here's the little outdoor location of the Strand, famous New York City bookstore. Its original location down on 13th Street and Broadway. Doris Friedman Plaza, big piece of public art called Ancestor. And nobody coming, so I'm going to pop across, get inside of Grand Army Plaza. Ollie's enjoying the tree-lined walk of Fifth Avenue. It's one of my favorites, and it's significantly cooler there. Central Park itself is significantly cooler than other parts of the city because of all the trees. It is indeed the air you can wear kind of a day. It is so gross. We'll see if the phone overheats at any point. Plaza Hotel, Bergdorf Goodman, the Towers of Billionaires Row. John Cipolla, good to see you. Welcome. And not hopefully, but you guys can probably see the gray sky, so that's what I'm paying attention to. There's supposed to be thunderstorms all day today, starting around noon. Let's see, it's 11:10, so we might have a little while.
Hello guys, you guys want to see pop?
Gonna try to cut across before the traffic light changes. To the Pulitzer Plaza with the famous Pulitzer Fountain. Right in the back you can see the Paris Theater, beautiful little movie theater operated by Netflix. So if you ever want to see a Netflix movie on a big screen, that's a place you can do it. Plaza Hotel. Across the way, Apple Store, General Motors building, Dior. Oh, what's going on the glass? They're advertising back to school sales, I guess. Taxi cab says, I wonder what the air is like up there amongst Billionaires Row. So the clouds aren't that low today, but it's probably just, it's not a $100 million view today. Today is not a $100 million view. Apple Store, fun place to shop. Great public restrooms if you need them. Should we see what's going on at Bergdorf? Let's cross back over in a second. The windows on the women's side tend to be more interesting. So we'll go check those out in a minute. And then we'll see what's going on at Tiffany after the fire. Hey Jimmy, good to see you. If we missed anybody, welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you. CMV, you can grab a hot dog right there, Nathan's. Diana asking how much heat do the buildings reflect back? Well, that's the whole thing about New York City, is it's heat island with all the concrete and everything. So that tree line walk by Fifth Avenue is so much more comfortable than over here. So let me start back here and then we'll work our way around the building. See what's going on at Bergdorf. Oh, CMV worked first summer at Bergdorf. You have to let us know what that was like. I'm guessing you ran into quite a few characters. Hello. I don't know if you guys can see, but the dinosaur's made out of like crystals. Like Swarovski, whatever they call that. Ferragamo? Anybody in the market? More dinosaurs, more crystal dinosaurs. So fancy. Kind of a nautical theme on this side, as you can see. And this one, that's kind of cool. So colorful. Hey AC, good morning, good to see you. I think in general, Bergdorf tends to have the most interesting windows of all the department stores. Love the animals. Oh, it does look like Tiffany is open. I see people at the doors. So maybe yeah, it looks like Tiffany's open, so I guess they survived the fire okay. I'm so curious if it smells like smoke inside. It was so bad. But I guess they must have, I guess they did okay. Hey, Stephen Bate, good to see you. Yeah, so anybody who missed earlier, so I guess 2 or 3 weeks ago, I forget how long, there was a terrible fire. So Tiffany had just done this massive renovation, and then they had a gigantic basement fire. I mean, smoke was just, black smoke was just pouring out of the building. But it looks like they're still open for business, so I guess they survived the fire okay. All right, my friends. So I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit. I was saying at the beginning of the stream, if we could make it, I would love to get to the High Line. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the pace and see if we can start heading in that direction and get there before the storm. So let's see if we can hightail it. Lex, yeah, that's the flagship Tiffany. Hey, Brian Davis, good to see you. Thank you for the feedback. Walking by Fifth Avenue Presbyterian. And lots of repair work going on in the middle of the street. over here by the Peninsula Hotel. Ron says the soothing sounds of New York City. It's exactly right. Maybe we'll make a right on 53rd, walk by MoMA. St. Thomas Church. Beautiful. Ambrose says that's my white noise. That's what you fall asleep to?
Right.
Should I add that to my Sounds by Sean channel? Just record that for a few hours? That would be funny. Hey, Red Star, good to see you. Yeah, today is a hard day to pick up the pace just because of the humidity. It's so hot. But I really want to get to the High Line as quickly as possible, so we will do our best. And we'll get lots of city views along the way, Red Star. This is 53rd Street. Oh, I was just watching the funniest video. David Letterman. Was that 53rd or was that 54th? They posted yesterday an old clip from David Letterman's show of a Civil War reenactment. And I think it was on 54th Street. It was hysterical. This is the Museum of Modern Art, MoMA. Yeah, right. Get a copyright notification, copyright strike on jackhammering. I just have to be the first one to do it. Across the street, you have the design store if you want to just go to the shop. It's so funny. I think there's some people who like the museum stores more than the museums. Here's the main entrance. Love MoMA. It's really fun in there. Amber says if I didn't want to sweat, I could zombie walk. Yeah, no, I'm going to be full on sweat today. Paul Greenwell, good to see you. Welcome. Happy Sunday to everybody. Here in Midtown Manhattan, we did a little bit of Madison Avenue, did a little bit of Fifth Avenue. Now we got to get all the way over to 11th Avenue, basically, and 34th Street to the neighborhood known as Hudson Yards and pick up the High Line. Here is the Hilton Hotel here in Midtown, very, very popular hotel. Just south of us, Radio City, the famous music hall. Walk south a little bit. I don't really want to go through Times Square today. It's too hot without also being around a million more people. Look at this truck in the bike lane when there's a lane right next to it. Jesus. Not cool, halal guys. Dan asked if we have water with me. We do indeed. We do indeed. I hydrated with some espresso before I left. Is that good for me? Is that good health? Is that a good health tip? Ron TV suggests hydrating with beer. You know, they say that after marathons, a beer is a great way to hydrate. Maybe we'll put that to the test today. So we're on 6th Avenue now, head south. Up ahead on our left, Radio City Music Hall. And just beyond it, The Tonight Show. Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show. Oh, a neck cooling fan. That sounds interesting. Starting to see the Art Deco facades of the Rockefeller Center complex. And then to our right, during Christmas time, this is where they do all those big decorations like the baubles, candy canes, so forth. But there's not too much of that right now. It's not the Christmas season, but up ahead is a big New York City Big Apple that looks kind of like 3D printed. It's like angular, kind of interesting. I think we'll go see that, then we'll make our way farther west. And we're gonna skip Times Square. I think our last live stream, we did Times Square. I certainly have a recent recorded video from there if you want to check out. But for me, it's just a little too hot to be around a million people today. La Gran Manzana, which is apple in Spanish. That's cool. All right, let's start heading west. Ooh, there's a breeze now. Unfortunately, means the storm is probably getting closer, but on the plus side, it feels real nice right now. Ron TV, not a Fallon fan. What did Leela say? My mom would drink a beer after working in the garden. Ooh, that sounds very relaxing, very peaceful. Good way to spend a Sunday. Ambrose says beer is diuretic, need to retain fluids. I do think it would be funny if I was walking around, got the whole gimbal, microphone, all that stuff going on, and then have a giant fan hanging around me. Someone also once, maybe it was my wife, once suggested a like clip-on umbrella for rainy days, you know, just to complete the look like a totally insane person as you walk around New York City gimmick that I have going on. Oh, you have to be careful if you got long hair, you don't want to get it caught in the fan. Oh, can you imagine? Try explaining that to the doctor or the barber. Entering the Times Square area. I always want to turn left there because there's a water wall, but we're always here on the weekend. And a lot of the public plazas, even though they're supposed to be open 24/7, aren't. So we never get to see our water wall. Hazmat suit. You know who I feel bad for on a day like today is our firefighters. You know, it's already 85 degrees. It's so hot, so humid. Then you got to put the suit on top of everything they already deal with. Oh, that's got to be the worst. Hey, look, little street fair. Little Times Square street fair. Ooh, it smells so good. Oh wow, it goes on and on. I wish I'd known. Here, I'm gonna cut through before this car turns. Show you guys a little bit of it. Ooh, a sidewalk mister would be so nice right about now. That would be great. Ooh, deep fried Oreo. Now you're speaking my language. Wow, and then it gets super busy up ahead. All right, so I think this is where we're gonna cut, start going west. Too busy. Those street fairs are always pretty fun though. You can try all sorts of different types of food. And coming up, I think it's next weekend. I was trying to check if it was today, but I think it's either next weekend or the following. I don't know if Nubul is still on. But in a couple of weekends is the French street fair. We went for a little bit last year. It was really fun. All things French. There's Krispy Kreme. They make like a fancy New York City donut there in the shape of an apple. One day I'll have to try that. Diana Lee's vote is for iced coffee. That sounds very nice. Yeah, we may do that. Maybe iced coffee in my left hand and a beer in my right at the end of this. How's that sound? Lunch of champions? Breakfast and lunch of champions? As we make our way west, of course, walking through the Broadway Theater District, Hadestown on our right, Leopoldstadt on our left. And that'll bring us to Hell's Kitchen, neighborhood of New York City. There's an ad for the Back to the Future musical, which that one's at the Winter Garden, I think, on Broadway. Hey, Nabul, good to see you. Do you remember the French street fair from like a year ago? I specifically remember you were on the stream that day. And that was one when Lisa joined us, my beautiful wife, Lisa. So we're making our way west, kind of cutting through Hell's Kitchen.
Right here.
And we are going to try to hightail it as fast as my little legs will take us to the High Line before the storms come in, thunderstorms. Lots of storms later. Maybe we'll go walk walk down Restaurant Row. Let's go walk down Restaurant Row. I just need to not hit anybody. This is 8th Avenue, 47th Street. We're gonna make a right on 46. That'll be Restaurant Row. This whole path in front of me, by the way, is a pedestrian stretch. So there's a nice protected bike lane, and then all this space for pedestrians because it gets so busy at the end of the day, especially like during rush hour. Thousands of people commute up and down 8th Avenue for Midtown, to and from Midtown, you know, to get to Port Authority bus terminal, to get to Penn Station. So it's really nice walking over here now. By the way, if anybody's been to Italy, I'm just going to pop over here for 1 second, show you guys something. There's a famous focaccia sandwich restaurant in Florence, and they now have a location here. I mean, it's been open for a while now, but I don't know that I've shown it. All'Antica Vinaio. So good. So if you like Italian sandwiches on some of the best focaccia you've ever had, I highly recommend that spot. But here is Restaurant Row. Let's walk along Restaurant Row as we continue our walks west over to the High Line. My beautiful wife Lisa, I see in the chat. Everybody give a shout out to my beautiful wife Lisa. I was sharing an update, but I think a lot of people have joined since then. So the reason we haven't been on so frequently, I'm sure many of you guessed, was just lack of sleep. Our kiddo, totally a full-time job. And I was saying how, you know, he would wake up multiple times during the night. Barbetta, one of the oldest restaurants in New York City. The sign, this beautiful sign here, predates neon. It's so old, it uses a technology that came before neon lights. So anyways, the kiddo wouldn't just wake up multiple times during the night. He would wake up for hours. And he wasn't just like sitting around. You know, he'd be very upset. So that was very difficult. So we've been doing all this work. And 2 nights ago, first time in 8+ months, he had his first full night of sleep. First. And then last night he did it again. This wasn't 2 nights in a row, but 2 out of 3. Ain't bad. So we think we're maybe turning a corner here, entering a new phase of sleep, mental health, mental wellness. It's unbelievable. I could cry. By the way, this is our favorite restaurant on Restaurant Row, Becco, owned by a woman named Lydia Bastianich. So if you ever watch PBS cooking shows, she's on there. Very well-known Italian-American chef. Love Becco. And you know who else likes Becco? Our friend Tom from Walks in Wall Street, also a fan, I know. So 2 recommendations if you needed them. All right, coming up to 9th Avenue, Hell's Kitchen. I think we're gonna go all the way over to 11th and then we'll walk down. As we make our way over to the High Line, you can see getting closer, closer, closer. That's the edge. I can see some of the people. They look like little ants up there. We were getting closer to Hudson Yards. But yeah, after 8 months of literally waking up every few hours, and sometimes for 2 hours at a time, which I have to tell you is not a way to live. Maybe if Lisa and I were, you know, younger parents, maybe their bodies are more capable of dealing with it, but that was not easy. So when I said I could cry, I'm not kidding. Beautiful church here, the Episcopal Church. I think it says St. Clement's. Beautiful. Ambrose was there. Oh, you went there when she was signing books. Yeah, we one time we were there. Lisa got a picture with her, and we got her to sign a bottle of wine. So somewhere in the apartment we have a bottle of wine with her signature on it. But yeah, I highly recommend that spot. It's one of the best deals in New York City. One of the best values. But I was explaining, we were doing a little bit of sleep training, which has been helping him fall asleep faster, and how we had to find one that was very gentle. That was Lisa's requirement. Very, very, very gentle, because I know not everybody is a fan of sleep training at all. But we found something that was very, you know, we're with him. He knows we're there. It just takes longer. But that was only part of the problem. The other part of the problem was he had what's called split nights. And what basically was happening was we were putting him in bed for too long. He physically couldn't sleep that much. And so as we've sort of closed that window a little bit, all of a sudden he's sleeping the full time. But for him, that's 10 hours, not 12 hours. You put him in there for 12 hours, he's going to wake up for 2 hours because he just doesn't need that as much sleep. It just took us a while to figure that out. This is 10th Avenue. Maybe we'll walk down 10th Avenue for a bit. Never walk down 10th. Take what you need, leave what you can. Ooh, I love these. These are like, you know, it's a public refrigerator, so if anybody needs anything, food, you know, no judgment, they can go in there, they can grab something, and then if you are able to, you can put something in there for somebody else. RJ, good to see you. Hello, all the way to Colorado. All right, guys, I cannot tell you how much I'm sweating. It's 82, 83 degrees Fahrenheit, which is on its own not the end of the world, but it is so humid. It is so, so humid. Dan asks, who went to sleep first? So I was letting, if anybody was on Gabe Walking Commuter stream the other day, he was asking how sleep was going, because he knows what's up. He has baby commuter. And I said, we had our first full night of sleep, and he said, I bet you didn't sleep the whole time. Because you're worried, you know? Your body has been trained, you know, to listen for them, sort of expecting to get up at some point. And of course he is right. Look at all the yellow cabs down here. There's a yellow cab garage down there. So we have to relearn, you know, to sleep as well. I will admit, it is a little easier for me than for Lisa. She is full on maternal instinct kicked in. Excuse me, kiddo. She is fully plugged into him. Every sound. This is 43rd Street, which means the next one is 42nd. Nobody coming. There really aren't that many people out. Whoever was asking about, is everybody at the Hamptons? I guess so. I guess everybody's at the Hamptons. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go over to Hudson Yards. We're going to check out the High Line. And if we can find it, I want to find that that fancy new extension. They have a fancy new extension from the that connects it to Moynihan Train Hall, right? Hopefully I got that right. So hopefully we can find that. That would be fun. Hey, Scott Briggs. Is it disgustingly humid on Long Island as well? It is so humid here. Rather be out in Sag Harbor. I've heard beautiful things about Sag Harbor, never been. It's supposed to be really pretty though.
उनको चाहिए
Dyer Avenue over there. All sorts of avenues and streets between here and 8th Avenue supporting all the tunnels. I think the breeze was imaginary. Yeah, there's not much of one. You can see the leaves rustling a little bit. There's not much though right now. I think it's going it's not going north-south, it's going east-west. So at the moment I'm not feeling it, but hopefully at this intersection I'll start to feel it. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. That feels nice. That feels nice. So we're headed towards 34th Street next. That'll take us to Hudson Yards. That's where we'll pick up the High Line. And as I was saying, we want to find this Moynihan Train Hall connection point. It's supposed to be really interesting looking. Let's check that out. And I know we haven't done a ton of live streams recently, but if you haven't checked them out yet, we have lots of recorded videos recently. I had the most incredible spot to watch the Macy's 4th of July fireworks. I was on the East River on the Manhattan side, so most people recorded it from Long Island City. Here, I'm just trying to get you a nice view of the Empire State Building. So most people recorded the fireworks from Long Island City, and because of that, they missed or didn't have the best view of the drone show. So I got some video of the drone show. The most amazing thing, they had hundreds of drones that formed into the Statue of Liberty. That was an amazing sight. So if you hadn't had a chance yet, check out our 4th of July fireworks video and check out that drone show to see the Statue of Liberty. That was super fun. Really lucked out with our spot and had a blast doing it. And then the last time we were supposed to go live was at the Pride March, and there were just so many people. I mean, literally 1 million plus people. So streaming didn't work out. But that means we got to record it in 4K. So if you haven't seen our footage from the Pride March. Check that out. And then, like I was saying before, we've been doing these stroller cam walks with my kiddo. Strap a camera onto the stroller on some of the walks we do throughout the week, usually around the Upper East Side and Central Park. So if you haven't had a chance yet, check some of those out. Those are fun. But since sleep may be improving, hopefully that means we'll start to get back to doing a few more live streams. It's super fun hanging out with you guys, getting to chat. So hopefully that's coming back. Yeah, I got a lot of positive feedback about the drone show. I mean, it's the future, right? I mean, with all the smoke situation that we've had, whether or not you agree, it does seem like you're going to see more drone shows and fewer fireworks shows. The problem with the drone show, I mean, what's amazing is, you know, they can do different colors and obviously go into all these shapes. And it's really incredible. I mean, like, technically, I don't even know how they do it, but it's so amazing. But one of the big downsides, and as I walk by some puppies, I know the dog owners don't agree with this, but one of the downsides is there's no noise. And you know, whether or not you love the noise, it's kind of an integral part of the show. So at some point they're gonna have to figure that out. So I think if you were near Long Island City, they had a concert. If you were in a very particular location, I think there was a concert. So those people heard some noise and music and songs and stuff. But where I was, across the East River on Manhattan, you couldn't hear anything. So I think that's going to be something, you know, where maybe they'll have to start building speakers into them or something. Because I do think noise is kind of a big part of the show. Up ahead, you can see one of the new art sites on the High Line, which is that tree. Really beautiful. So we're going to make it over there in a second. Light's about to change. Let's walk on to, oh, there's a good view of Empire State Building. Hey, Mighty Bull in the house. Good to see you. Welcome. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go walk into the main entrance of the High Line, and then we will make our way over to that new Moynihan offshoot in a few minutes. It did look like there's a bunch of people, so if we start to have any network issues,
It's cool.
just hang tight, just bear with us. CMV fan of the fireworks? Yeah, I think you're going to start, whether, you know, like I said, whether or not you have a preference, I think the future is the drones. It is what it is. Before you get to the High Line, on both sides over here is a park called Bella Abzug Park. Really pretty. And here is the Hudson Yards subway station. You can take the 7 here, which connects to a lot of the big train stations. So very easy to get over here if you're not walking 5 miles. Lots of places to eat and grab a drink. And of course, up ahead in the distance, the vessel. You guys are sharing all the examples from Marvel movies of drones gone wrong. What was the What was that movie? Angel Has Fallen. That's also a bad drone movie. Drones gone wrong. All right, here we are, Hudson Yards. The vessel up ahead. To our left, the shops at Hudson Yards, very fancy for the most part. Yeah, our problem was we have a neighbor, not in our building, but in our neighborhood. And they get on the top of their roof and they shoot off fireworks all night long. And this year they did it from like 9 to midnight, then they stopped. And my guess is they got told to stop. And then they figured everybody went to sleep, so at 3 a.m. they started again. And the way they do it is not like, let's shoot them off all at once, like in a row. It's like, let's shoot off one very loud, annoying firework. And then in 10 minutes, we'll shoot off another. And then in 7 minutes, we'll shoot off another. And then in 10 minutes, just so annoying. Look, there's a little dog parade over here. Little dog meetup. That's so funny. Little dog meetup over there. All right, let's head over to the High Line. Today, the High Line is the main event. We rushed over here all the way from the Upper East Side with the hope of visiting the High Line, walking a little bit of it before the storms come in. We've made it. Lost Fly asks, will the vessel ever reopen to the public? That is a great question. I still don't see any modifications to it. I don't see how they can reopen it without modifying it. And what I don't understand is there's like 4 feet of glass. The glass just needs to be 8 feet tall, 10 feet tall. It seems like such an easy and obvious problem to solve, and they just won't do it. So until they make modifications, I don't see how they can reopen. And I don't see any yet. So today you can go in it at the ground level. They'll let you take some pictures, but you can no longer go up. If you ever come to Highline, they do all sorts of public art projects. One of them over here is about African American history, and it has all these African American newspapers. So really recommend checking this out if you visit the High Line. Let's start off by making a left though. This is the spur. Let's go check out that beautiful fluorescent tree that kind of looks like a vascular system and see what else is going on in this direction. We so rarely go on the spur. Ambrose asking ChatGPT, the vessel in Hudson Yards is a giant copper-colored staircase structure that serves as an interactive art installation public gathering space. Hey, is Narelle in the house? Hey, good to see you. Been a long time, but good to see you. Beneath us are some of the restaurants at Hudson Yards, including, what's it called, El Mercado, a Spanish restaurant. And I have to tell you guys, the smells over here are so amazing. But you can also go down to 15th Street for Chelsea Market. Never take a bracelet from those guys, by the way, it's a scam. Never take a bracelet from those guys. I mean, never accept anything that someone puts in your hands in New York City. The others would be bracelets or CDs for the most part. Hey, Sally Scipio, good to see you. So yeah, I wanted to come over here. I wanted to see this. So it's a beautiful piece of public art. Tree, fluorescent red, made to look kind of like the vascular system. And then behind us is the new extension over to Moynihan Train Hall. So let's go check that out in a moment. but it's kind of cool to start here, overlooking 10th Avenue. Hey, Dorg Rock, good to see you. Hope they do something. It's a shame public can't enjoy phone. Yeah, I mean, this I don't understand. They just need to raise the glass and they could reopen it. But I've heard mixed things about whether it's the developer, whether it's the artist. I've never read anything authoritative on why they're finding it so difficult to change it. Beautiful. It's so beautiful. All right, let's check out this new extension. Whoa, and check this out. There's some those must be pickleball, or those tennis courts. Pickleball, right? Looks smaller. Lots of stuff going on over here. This is the area I'm overlooking is called Manhattan West. So if you want to look any of this stuff up for visiting, we're at Hudson Yards, and then just to the east of Hudson Yards, immediately to the east, is called Manhattan West. Bunch of apartments, grocery store, there's a Whole Foods, and then there's all this public space like those pickleball courts. Lots happening over here, lots of development. And here's the new section of the High Line. Super interesting looking.
Made by the I think you saw it.
Beautiful.
Made by an international artist.
Hey, Walks in Camera, good to see you. Wow, check this out. This is awesome. Let me show you what it's on top of, because it's so interesting. This is what's beneath us. All this old industrial space. So all the stuff beneath us used to be really just to get you to the tunnels over here. And now it's turning into this, which is so beautiful. I love this. As you guys know, I'm a huge, huge, huge fan of the Highline. Oh, there's the weather. There we go. Weather conditions, cloudy, temperature of 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, so the temperature's going down. Wind blowing is 7 miles an hour. Current humidity is 74%. It is so humid. Oh, and it takes you right over here to Manhattan West. So again, all these, I'll show you what some of the stuff they have, but lots of restaurants, lots of shops, Midnight Theater, newsstand, NHL shop. Some of the restaurants, oh, Ci Siamo, that's owned by Danny Meyer, Italian restaurant. And there's the Whole Foods. So lots of stuff over here. But yeah, let's get another view of the bridge. Very interesting looking. So another way of getting around here at Manhattan West and Hudson Yards. All right, let's head back to the main High Line. There, by the way, Moynihan Train Hall, Madison Square Garden. Not sure if I like the color. Yeah, I mean, it does have that kind of Scandinavian IKEA light, kind of like birch. But my guess is, you know, as it rains and snows and all, I'm guessing the color will change a little bit over time. But it definitely looks, you know, very fresh, very clean and new, brand new. Yeah, Robert, I'm guessing, you know, this is not as high, but you're not wrong. You are not mistaken. Lost Fly and Diana enjoying the beams. I mean, I love it. I think it's a great addition. I like that they keep adding to the High Line. I think it's such a great addition to New York City. Love all this great outdoor space, lots of plants, public art. It's great over here. So let's take this back and we'll walk the as much of the High Line as we can. Hopefully no storms yet. RoboJack says it'll look great when weathered. Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what it'll look like, but we'll have to check in a year from now, see how it's looking. One last look at our tree. Narelle, where would you like to look? Or are you trying to see the buildings or the tree? Let me know. Brian says the tree is so Instagrammable. Narelle, I'm guessing you want to see the buildings. Let me try to get a good angle. We probably need to see it from the High Line, but let me show you straight up for a second. It's just kind of cloudy, gray clouds, but a nice view with the building there, huh? Do we see the development to be as impactful to well-being as High Line in New York City's future? Yeah, I think so. I think connecting all these areas, allowing people to walk safely from section to section, I think it's great. I love it. So this is where we caught the High Line. We're going to make a left. That'll bring us onto the main path. There's another path that goes around, but closer to the Javits Center, but last time we tried to do that, it was closed for the next year or so. So I think today we're just going to hop on the main section and continue our walk. Dana asking, does it feel staticky yet? It just feels like gross. It just feels, the air feels thick. So humid. Oh, you guys like that shot? Yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm hoping to do another photo walk, and I actually, I would love to do a photo walk over here. And if you've never seen one of our photo walks, basically what I'm doing is I wear a camera and sort of POV style, you can watch me taking pictures, and then I edit the pictures into the videos. So maybe we'll have to come back here one day and try to get some of those angles. And actually that makes me think it would be fun to do that in Midtown, or downtown, some of the skyscrapers. You guys are giving me ideas as we go. Ooh, look at the flowers here. Look how pretty this is. Hello, Reflection. Hey, Tom in Vermont, good to see you. Ian's in the house. Ah, you guys are giving me lots of ideas today. I just need more time. Which, speaking of, I have to look at my watch. I need to head back in a little bit, so we're going to try to finish the High Line, and then I need to get back, relieve Lisa, my beautiful wife. She also has some plans for the day. But let's finish the High Line. Look at all these flowers, so pretty. But yeah, if you haven't seen our channel in a little while, We have the Pride March, we have 4th of July fireworks, we have stroller cam walks around the Upper East Side. Lots more content for you guys. And then, like I was saying, hopefully, wow, it just goes on and on. Beautiful. And then, like I was saying, hopefully kiddos' sleep is improving, and that'll hopefully allow us to do more live streams again. And high on the, very high on the to-do list is we'll get the whole family out one of these days. Hey Patricia, welcome. It's good to see you. It's been so long since we've seen everybody. We're doing well, Ian. How are you doing? I was telling everybody our kiddo, Caleb, had his first full night of sleep a couple of nights ago, and then he did it again last night. So 2 in 8 months. 8 months of life on this earth. He had his first full nights of sleep. Ollie says purple coneflower, Dan Aykroyd's favorite. Robert asking, does it smell like flowers? It smells beautiful over here, actually. And after all the smoke and everything, this is great. It smells fresh and springy. Of course, it feels like summer. Yeah, kiddo turns 9 months this Wednesday. Isn't that crazy? One of the fun things about walking the High Line, you get all the views of the buildings. There's the Empire State Building again. And then let me get you one last view of some of the towers over here. Yeah, first full nights of sleep. You know, you read about, one of the things you learn is to never compare children because they're all different, you know. So of course you do it anyways, and you read about these people who are like, oh yeah, since like 6 weeks our kid's been sleeping the full night, and you're like, what are you talking about? Took us 8 months, and I know there's probably, you know, as I read about this stuff, there's people, you know, it basically never happens for the first year or 2 years. So I consider ourselves lucky. Patricia, baby boy coming next Wednesday. Hey, congrats, big congrats. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Everybody send good thoughts to Patricia. Oh, there's a beautiful butterfly flying by. That is so pretty over here. Oh, and I forgot to say the other thing he did. So after he had a full night of sleep, which must have done great things for his development, the very next day he stood up on his own for the first time. He's been practicing a lot, but he stood up on his own for the first time. So all this stuff is happening all at once. So should we see if our screens are up? I think our art project is still going on over here. Yeah, I think it's still happening. Okay, let's go to this section so I can show you guys. So there's a camera over here, right there, but it doesn't look out. It's got cameras inside, and what it's showing on the screen right here are their eyeballs. Isn't that funny? Kind of creepy, kind of funny. Very creative art project. I love that it's still up. AC says all the people missing from the street are up on the High Line. Yeah, no kidding. The title of it Observer observed. Very funny. RoboJack says Kiddo will be pushing me in the stroller. Hey, I'm ready for it. You want to start holding the camera? You want to narrate the videos? I'm still waiting for him to do the dishes once. Yeah, it's so funny. I mean, the last month, I feel like so much development took place. And I'm just like usually that means even worse sleep, because, you know, they want to do all the things that they're learning how to do. So I'm like incredibly grateful that he actually slept through the night a couple times. Hopefully it'll continue. And hopefully my beautiful wife Lisa will slowly relearn to sleep herself. I think we all could use it. Full night of sleep.
You want this?
Tom of Vermont, before you know it, Dad, can I have the car keys? Oh gosh. I'm so afraid of him walking. I'm so afraid of that. It's already such a handful. Oh wow, more flowers.
Bottle brush bucket.
Oh, it's so pretty over here. If you haven't been to the High Line in a while, we did a recorded video here probably a month ago, and none of these flowers were here. None. It was green. It was very pretty, but there were no flowers. Check out this public art. Justin Morel, all the sleep talk putting you out. Well, it's, what did you say, 2 a.m.? Have a great night. I'm so glad you got to check in. That we all got to see you. Hey, S. Fields, good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Gabriel Chale, The Wind Blows Where It Wishes is the name of this. Let's get the other angle of it because it looks very different from this side. That's a fun one. But gosh, look at all these flowers. It is so pretty here on the High Line today. S. Fields, if you watch some of the replay later, you can find out where we've been, what we've been up to. But the highlight is Kiddo had his first full night of sleep in 8+ months this week. And he did it twice. Hey, The Apprentice, good to see you. So good, so good to see everybody. It's been so long since we all got together. I was really hoping we could at the Pride March, but even at the beginning, before everybody got there, there was not a connection to be had. Whoa, check this out. This is so great. Robert says, is that an oil lamp? Yeah, it had kind of like an oil lamp, a bird. It's got like a bunch of different things going on, doesn't it? The flowers over here smell so good. If you're anywhere near and you have a chance to come, definitely come to the High Line really quick so you can see all these flowers. So pretty. Beautiful. Ooh, and one of my favorite pieces is still up. This mural here on our left is basically the impressions of somebody in New York for the first time. And I love it. We're gonna go pause over here so I can give you guys a really good view of it. Let me get back a little bit so we can get the full view. But this is one of my favorite pieces of public art in New York City right now. So it's called New York City Love by Nina Chanel Abney, if you want to look it up. But you have the pigeons, you have the Yankees, you have the Statue of Liberty, I Love New York, you have pizza. All these different symbols of someone encountering New York City for the first time through their lens. I love it. Oh, it's so great over here to be on the High Line. Ooh, and there's some food over here. Tamales. Ooh, that sounds good. Esquites, elote, kulfi pops. So you have a little Latin American, and then Indian. So all sorts of different types of food. Kulfi is Indian ice cream. Elotes is corn. And tamales, corn-filled little pastry that can be sweet or savory. I think they had a meat one and a cheese-filled one. That sounds really good. Love tamales. Ron TV says we'll get that artwork once kiddos start school. Yeah, that's actually a good point. He's gonna, at some point, he can start making artwork. Maybe we'll give him, when we're willing to destroy the walls in the apartment, maybe we'll give him a little finger painting or something. Ollie asked me, have we seen any butterflies? Yeah, I saw one. I wasn't able to, it moved before I could show you guys, but if I see another, I'll try to show you. But yeah, I've definitely seen one or two already. Yeah, it smells good. There is a breeze over here, so when you're in the shade and everything, it does feel great. Oh, wow, more flowers. God, this is so pretty. Oh, this is wonderful. And just up ahead, I'll be able to turn around and get you one more view of a really good view of the Empire State Building in a second. This is another piece of art. Oh, Ollie with a good idea. Erasable crayons. That's actually really, really, really smart. Here, let me show you guys the Empire State Building one last time. That's an excellent idea. By the way, there's the edge. And ever since he said it, our good friend Dutch Maz pointed out, it looks like a duck. Do you guys see a duck? Gosh, it's so pretty over here today. We really, really, really lucked out with all the flowers. Oh, I'm so glad we got to do this. Oh, look at these. Look at the purple. Just incredible. It looks really good and it smells amazing. The sign said that was called butterfly milkweed. So they're, I think, definitely putting stuff up with the intention of attracting butterflies. Here's the lantern buildings, which I always think look like beer barrels. Leela's favorite apartments, the lantern buildings. They look just like beer barrels to me. S. Fields, how you been? Let us know how you've been doing.
So
Dorgrock asked, do I ever catch any hummingbirds? Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think I've seen a hummingbird in New York. I don't think I have. At Central Park, we do see some really amazing birds. We've obviously seen Flacco the owl. And recently there's been what are called great egrets, E-G-R-E-T. They have these super long necks, very majestic looking. They're all white, although I think there are some of different colors. But they're these all white ones, these very long necks, very elegant looking. Here's more flowers. God, it is so pretty here. Hey Yuri, good to see you. Ron TV says, not the best apartment if you forgot the towel after a shower. Well, the funny story about that is the Standard Hotel for a long time was known as, let's just say they were very popular for that sort of thing. Okay, let's head over here, see our Statue of Liberty. Only one, I'm afraid. There used to be two. One of our favorite pieces of public art was here for months and months, but she's gone. But if you stand right here and you zoom all the way in, you can see the Statue of Liberty from here. In the far distance, there's the Statue of Liberty. Ever encounter pigeons doing Gabe sounds? That indeed, I've seen that. This is a fun little spot. You can sit here on a hot day when you need to just kind of rest, and you can overlook 10th Avenue, just watch the traffic if you're into that sort of thing. And then this right here is Chelsea Market. So if the food at Hudson Yards isn't what you're looking for, oh, there's a butterfly. Oh, a couple of butterflies. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm glad we got to see that. Isn't that pretty? That's so beautiful. So this is Chelsea Market. This is where Nabisco used to be. The National Biscuit Company. Lost Fly says, look at the happy pollinators, busy at work. Exactly. They're really having a good time. Oh, I'm so glad we got to see that. Up close and personal. Got to see a couple butterflies, got to see the bees, and we got to see a Statue of Liberty. So lots of restaurants over here on this level of the High Line. This place, for example, has lemonades, 16 ounces for $6. That's actually a pretty good deal. That sounds fine for New York City. You can grab a hot dog over here. Coffee shop, espresso for $3.20, looks like. And then there's a little, you could grab a beer right over here at Hearth. And then if you wanted to leave the High Line, you could head right over in this direction to see Little Island. But we have to make a stop over here, one of my favorite sites in New York City. We love the Sky Bridge. connecting these two buildings. Yeah, so this is 15th Street. We just passed 16th, and the next one will be 14th. But there's, I was saying, there's more food downstairs. So if you hop off the High Line right there and go into Chelsea Market, there's all sorts of restaurants. The most popular of all of them is Los Tacos Numero Uno, which is very good. But there's all sorts of stuff. There's Israeli, Japanese, Italian. I mean, basically you name it, you can have it there. It's not super cheap eating inside of Chelsea Market, but there's lots of options. And then afterwards, of course, you can walk across the West Side Highway over there and hop onto Little Island. Or you can go to the rooftop park just next to it at Pier 57. Let me show you guys both of them. So this is Little Island, and then this is Pier 57. There's a whole rooftop park, and it is so brand new that for whatever reason, there's still not a lot of people there. So if you really want some incredible views, including of Little Island, so you can take pictures of it, just go over to Pier 57 rooftop. It's really fun, very relaxing, and like I said, there's not a lot of people there. This is 14th Street. This is officially the widest point on Manhattan Island. And in just a moment, we'll see the Standard Hotel, and I was just talking about that. So when they first opened, I think the story was that they didn't have curtains. And so there were a lot of moments. They're talking about all the plants that they've recently added along the High Line. Very beautiful. So anyways, early days of the Standard Hotel, you could see a lot of things. And every time we walk by, I point my camera up there, and I think somebody's going to report me to YouTube and say they saw something. We're on TV. Oh no. And to make things very timely, not so funny, but very timely certainly, this is the pier marker of the White Star Lines. This is where the Titanic was supposed to come in. And if you've watched any of our videos from Little Island, I've shown some of the historical markers over there. So this line, this structure right here has been landmarked, and it designates where the Titanic was going to come in. Obviously in the news recently. And now marks the entrance, or one of the entrances, to Little Island. Osfly wonders why 14th is wider than all the. It's just the shape of the island. It's just the shape of the island. So if you check out a map of Manhattan Island, oh God, somebody took the bracelet. Oh, never take the bracelet. Never take the bracelet, friends. They want to be paid for it. Never accept CDs or bracelets from people. So down here at the Standard Hotel, they used to have bumper cars here. Now it's like a roller skating rink, disco roller skating, it looks like. But yeah, if you look at the shape of Manhattan Island, it gets skinnier in every other direction. And 14th just happens to be the widest point. But yeah, if somebody walks up to you and tries to offer you something in New York City, definitely don't take it. They just want to get it into your hands, and then they'll do their very, very, very hard sell to extract money from you. And it's usually bracelets or CDs. And I will just tell you now, you don't want either of them. Hey, British Grey is here. So good to see you. So to our left, we've left Hudson Yards. We passed through Chelsea, and now we're in the meatpacking district. And when we get out of here, we'll be in the far West Village. So we're passing through neighborhood after neighborhood. We started on the Upper East Side, went through Midtown, a little bit of Times Square Theater District area, Hell's Kitchen, Midtown West, Hudson Yards, Chelsea, meatpacking, and soon to be the far West Village. So we've seen a lot today, friends. Ambrose says not so sure about free hugs either. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we've been doing it for 7 years.
Okay, here's what we'll do. I think we will, since we're all the way over here, let's at least go see the water. And that's where I'll have to say my goodbyes, because I got to get home and relieve Lisa for the day so she can also experience a little bit of Sunday. As I said, we are celebrating our kiddo after 8+ months. He's almost 9 months old. Had the first 2 nights, full nights of sleep in his entire life. Which also means mom and dad got more sleep than they've ever gotten, even with the nervous waking up, wondering what's gone wrong. So let's go take a quick glance at the Hudson River, where we'll say our goodbyes for today. But this has been a fun one, my friends. I know it's been a while, but hopefully this is the beginning of sleep yet again for mom and dad, which means hopefully we will be able to do this a little more often than we've been doing it. And one day soon we'll get, let's go, where do we want to go today? Should we go? We'll go this way. We'll see Little Island for a second. Just got to walk up a couple blocks. But I'm going to need to go to 14th Street anyways, so this will work. But yeah, one day soon we'll get Lisa and the kiddo on a stream. It's been a long time since we've done that. And yeah, hopefully we'll just be able to do this a little more often. So, I mean, it used to be, it was so crazy. It would take us hours to get him to go to sleep. And then he would wake up every few hours anyways. And now we've gotten both of those have significantly improved. It's funny over here, by the way, they put these owls up to keep the pigeons from hanging out over here. So mom and dad are finally getting some rest. Only took 8 months of severely depleting our energy and mental faculties. It is no bueno to never get a full night of sleep for months on end. So it feels really good. So anyways, hopefully that means we're coming back to the land of the living, and that we'll get to do this stuff a little more often with you guys. In the meantime, of course, I take the kiddo out on walks, and I've been bringing the camera along so you guys can see some of our slice of New York through his eyes. You're getting basically the kiddo vantage point. We've done a bunch of Central Park. We did Carl Schurz Park. You guys hear the ice cream song? And then just a couple days ago, I guess, we did a little bit of the Upper East Side. So we saw 5th, Madison Park, and Lexington Avenues. Steven says, lots of friendly chatter at the house, eh? I gotta say, lack of sleep, it's really not good. It's really not good. That's gonna turn out to definitely be a copyrighted song, isn't it? Whoa, perfect timing, right, for the light to change. So whenever you're crossing over here, you have to be super careful because this is the West Side Highway. The cars go super fast, but then right over here, you have to be careful again. The bikes are supposed to yield to pedestrians, but you'll learn that they don't. Oh, this gentleman did. That's very nice of him. One of the very few to actually follow the rules. So just be super careful crossing that path right there. But let's head into Little Island for a second. I'll show you guys the flowers over here. And then let's get a nice little view of the Hudson as we sign off. Lisa said, my beautiful wife Lisa says, my friend told her daughter that when they play that music, it means they're out of ice cream. Oh, I love it. Have we gotten, we haven't gotten to the stage of lying to our child yet, right? Oh, by the way, if you haven't seen our 4th of July fireworks video just yet, sorry. If you haven't seen our 4th of July fireworks yet, one of the things is at the very beginning, we saw some of the fire boats come out and spray red, white, and blue water. It was really a really cool sight, and I put that at the beginning of the video. So definitely check out our 4th of July fireworks videos if you want to see an FDNY boat celebrating Independence Day in red, white, and blue style. Hey, Manny Explorers, good to see you. Ian's heading out. Glad you could stop by, Ian. Thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody check out Manny Explorers, great vlogger, YouTuber, does live streams, and also some great vlogs from all around New York City. He had a really good one the other day, West Harlem. A lot of people don't visit so much of the city. And Manny went to one of my favorite parts of the city, West Harlem. Amazing architecture, very beautiful neighborhoods. So if you haven't checked that out, actually RoboJax in particular, you'll probably like that video. Loves some of the architecture up in the northern sections and older sections of New York City. So definitely check that out if you haven't yet. So this is Little Island. There's an amphitheater over here. They do events. Just wanted to come and see the water. And I was mentioning to you guys, there's Pier 57, so there's the rooftop. You can walk over there. You can probably see a couple people right down there. There's an entrance. You walk inside, take the stairs or take the elevator. There's a public park on the top 2 levels. Really fun over there. And not a lot of people. All right, let's go this way. I think today we'll go this way for a sec. There's a couple of food carts over here. Last time I was here, I bought some pretzels. They had these big, giant pretzels. Maybe I'll do that again today. That was actually pretty good. Have a drink, have a pretzel. Nice salty pretzel. I just want to go check out the water facing north, facing south, facing Lower Manhattan. Let's cut through this direction. You can see all the beautiful landscaping, flowers and everything over here. I bet there's some butterflies here as well. So a nice connection to what we saw at the High Line. Restrooms to our right. And this is another event space. They do lots of stuff for kids over here. We saw some clowns and other things here not too long ago. So we're facing south. Let me zoom in for you guys for a second. There's the Statue of Liberty. With a beautiful view, probably like a Circle Line ferry. Some sailboats, that's a beautiful view. And then right over here, One World Trade Center. Ooh, and for some reason the focus is all crazy right now. Beautiful view south of Lower Manhattan, Battery Park City. Well, my friends, this has been a fun one. This has actually been a really fun one, and we lucked out because I was trying to avoid the storms the whole time, and we did it somehow. It hasn't rained on us. So all the way from the Upper East Side to Little Island, in the far West Village. I want to thank everybody for hanging on out with us. I'm sorry we haven't done so many live streams, but like I said, hopefully we're back a little bit in the land of the living, starting to get our sleep again. So hopefully we'll be doing a little bit more of this, certainly than we have been. If you haven't had a chance yet, check out our 4th of July fireworks video. We also had the drone show. We had a really good vantage point, so not everybody got to catch the drone show. We did, so hopefully you'll check that out. Before that, we were going to live stream. That didn't work out, so we did recording at the Pride March. So I hope you'll check that out. And then I have done a bunch of stroller cam walks with the kiddo. So I hope you'll check those out. If you're new, consider subscribing. Leave a like, helps other people find us. Big thanks to everybody who's already subscribed, left a like, chatted, leaves nice comments on our videos. We all appreciate it. And I appreciate everybody asking how we've been doing, since we just haven't been publishing as much recently. So thank you for all the concern and well wishes. But like I said, hopefully we're back at it. Back in the land of the living. But big shout out to everybody. Thanks for hanging on out with us. We love hanging out with you guys. Thanks for spending a little bit of your Sunday with me. And I'll be seeing you guys real soon. Take care, everybody. Bye.